The scarcest resource in the agentic AI era is not the model. It's the human capability to direct it wisely. That's the headline from today's piece. And honestly, Orange, I think it changes everything about how we should be thinking about talent right now.
Wait, that's a pretty big claim. Are you saying all the investment in AI models and infrastructure is missing the point?
Not missing the point, but incomplete. Way Beyond Capital just published this piece called Beyond Prompting, the Young Talent Agenda for the Agentic AI Era, and it makes a really sharp argument. The author, Paul Morrissey, says the future workforce can't be built by just rescaling existing employees or buying AI platforms. You have to deliberately grow a new generation of workers who know how to think, decide, collaborate, and govern in an AI-rich workplace. And he backs it up with real data.
So we're talking about the talent pipeline problem. I think most leaders I talk to would say, yes, we're upskilling people, but Morrissey is saying that's not enough.
Exactly. He breaks it down into what young people actually need to practice and master, and it goes way beyond prompt engineering. The first one is AI fluency versus what he calls superficial prompt literacy. The real skill isn't knowing how to type a good prompt. It's AI task design, defining the job to be done, selecting the right tool, sequencing human and machine steps, and knowing when not to automate.
That last part is huge, knowing when not to automate. I feel like that's the part most organizations skip entirely.
Right. And then there's what he calls critical judgment at the jagged frontier. This is the research from Delacroix and BCG showing that AI helps on tasks inside its capability frontier, but actively hurts performance just outside it. Consultants using GPT-4 did 12% more tasks and were 25% faster, but they were 19% less likely to get the right answer on complex tasks outside the frontier.
So the most dangerous employee isn't the one who can't use AI, it's the one who trusts it too much.
That's the exact line from the article. Young workers need disciplined skepticism, source checking, assumption testing, the confidence to say, the machine may be fluent, but it's not yet right. That's a skill you have to teach. It doesn't come naturally.
What about the actual management of agents? Because that's a whole new layer.
Great question. That's point 3, agent management and digital delegation. Instead of just doing tasks, early career employees will increasingly brief, monitor, and coordinate task-performing systems. Morrissey says they need to practice being agent supervisors before they become line managers. Decomposing work into subtasks, setting success criteria, designing guardrails, auditing outputs, managing exceptions. That's an entirely new craft.
It really is, and it speaks to something I think a lot of junior employees are feeling. Uncertainty about what their actual role becomes when agents can do so much of the execution work.
The article also hits data and workflow literacy. Agentic AI is only as useful as the data and processes it's plugged into. He makes the point that you don't need everyone to become a data scientist, but they do need to understand why poor metadata, broken integrations, and unowned datasets turn promising AI into operational risk.
So it's about building a shared vocabulary across the organization. The engineer, the operator, the compliance officer, and the frontline person all need enough common understanding to have a real conversation about risk.
Yes, and that leads directly to point 5, which I love, human advantage as the premium skill. As AI absorbs routine information processing, the value of communication, empathy, negotiation, active listening, and stakeholder management goes through the roof. These aren't soft skills anymore, they're core productivity skills. The young worker who can translate between engineers, customers, regulators, and finance is more valuable than the one who just produces technically plausible outputs.
That's going to ruffle some feathers in the technical skills only crowd.
Good, because the reality is, and this is from the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, the fastest growing skills include AI literacy, yes, but also creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, and curiosity. The young person entering work today shouldn't be trained for one fixed role. They need to be trained to reconfigure their role repeatedly as AI changes the economics of tasks.
So give me the C-suite action agenda. What should leaders actually do?
Morrissey lays out 5 moves. 1. Define an enterprise AI skills taxonomy. Get specific about what fluency, workflow design, governance, and critical reasoning actually mean at your company.
2. Create agentic apprenticeships. Pair graduates with business owners to redesign real workflows using governed AI agents. 3. Build a young talent plus expert mentor model. 4. Invest in AI governance as an enabler, not a brake. Teach responsible use from day one. 5. Make the CEO and CHRO jointly accountable. This can't sit only in L&D or IT.
That fifth point is the one I think most organizations miss. If nobody in the C-suite owns the talent transformation, it doesn't happen. It becomes another initiative that fades after the initial push.
Emphatically. Here's the bottom line, Orange. The article closes with this statement, and I want to quote it directly. The companies that win will be those that understand that the scarcest resource in the agentic AI era is not the model, it is the human capability to direct it wisely. We've been so focused on building better models, better agents, better infrastructure, but if we're not building the human capability alongside it, we're building on sand.
And that's why this show exists, Beyond Prompting, because the work isn't about prompt engineering anymore. It's about building the field guide for how humans and agents work together at scale.
That's it. That's the whole thing. This was the Way Beyond Capital piece by Paul Morrissey. Link in the description and pinned comment. We'll have a new episode for you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central. Until then, keep building that human capability. It's your biggest moat.
See you tomorrow.